Elvira Abbey has spent her whole life getting chased by death. When she was just a child, her grandfather passed away from a heart attack right in front of her on a camping trip. When she was a teen, both of her parents died in a tragic car accident, while Elvira, who was in the back seat, was left without a scratch. After their death, she was forced to move to Willow Creek to live with her grandmother, Cassandra Goth, who has been taking care of her ever since. Elvira took university classes online and continued to live with her grandmother while working to obtain a degree in literature and history. One day, while Elvira was visiting her parents' graves and writing in her journal, a boy stumbled upon her. His name was Oro. After that day, they always ended up at the graveyard at the same time. Something about him intrigued her. He was so happy and carefree, as if he had never experienced anything horrible in his life, unlike her, who was tainted and followed by death. They started going for long walks after their run-ins at the cemetery, which turned into getting coffee and stargazing as their time spent together grew longer and longer. Eventually, they were spending all of their free time together, and she was introducing him to her grandmother. They quickly fell in love and began dating that summer. The following year was the best of Elvira's life, but it all quickly fell apart. She was spending the night with Oro at his home when he woke up to the smell of smoke. Oro died trying to save her that night, and once again Elvira escaped without a scratch, at least any external ones. After that, Elvira knew for certain that death was following her closely, and she could have sworn that every time someone close to her died, she saw death themselves standing close by. She had no choice but to pack up and move as far away from her grandmother as possible to protect her. So that's how she ended up here, in Ravenwood, trying not to get too close to anyone. Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lizzie, and I am so happy to have you. And today I am bringing you all a brand new Let's Play. That is right, we are here today to play with the new Life and Death pack, and you guys, I am so excited. So I hope you enjoyed the little backstory about Elvira here. She is going to be our main sim for this Let's Play, Elvira Abbey, and I am so excited to explore this new pack with you all and just really find out what this pack has to offer. So with that, we are going to go ahead and do a little further introduction of our beautiful sim here, Elvira. So we are going to start off by looking at her aspiration. So this is the new aspiration that came with the pack. This is the Ghost Historian. I'm not sure why it's saying that she has befriended a ghost. I have one theory, which is because Oro is dead, as well as her parents, Haley and Colton Abbey, and her grandfather, Malcolm Landgrab. So all four of them are dead, and they are all ghosts. So I'm assuming maybe that's why it's saying that she has befriended a ghost already. And then we have her grandmother, Cassandra Goth. But the little blurb for the Ghost Historian, it says, this sim wants to learn everything about ghosts and use the findings to write spooky horror novels. Ghost whisperers have access to special interactions to discuss their eerie findings and published works. They have a much easier time making friends and more with ghosts. They will also get particularly excited while encountering ghosts of all kinds, grim and even crows. So this is a 4-tier aspiration. So the first one is getting in spirit. We have to befriend a ghost, achieve level 2 of the new skill, and achieve level 2 of the writing skill. And so this aspiration works perfectly with our Sim's traits. So she is gloomy. These Sims tend to be sad, can share melancholy thoughts to other Sims, and while sad, gain a boost to their creative skill. She is a bookworm. These Sims gain powerful moodlets from analyzing books and can discuss books in unique ways. And she is I do not know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try, but she has one of the new traits, which is embrace your inner darkness and your occasional intrusions of light. These Sims are all about being their best, unique Sim self while still reveling in all that life and the afterlife has to offer. So, she is a book lover. She has grown up wanting to be an author. It is something that her and her mother shared. Her mother always wanted her to become a writer, and she's always loved writing. She writes in her journal frequently. So, writing has just always been a part of her life, especially with all of the pretty gruesome things that she has had to see in her life. And as I had kind of stated, she was going to university to obtain a degree in literature and history, which she never ended up actually getting. She had to actually drop out because of everything that kind of happened in her life. And so she never graduated, but that was going to be the plan, was to become a famous author or historian. And so this aspiration will kind of allow her to hopefully achieve that. So I've not set up her bucket list yet. I have not touched the new pack. I have not looked at anything in the new pack. That was something that I really wanted us all to do together. So let's go ahead and take a look at her house. This is her home. The speed build is up on my channel. You guys can go watch it. It'll be the first video posted before this one. And so this is her home. Cassandra Goth, her grandmother, helped her buy it. And she has just moved in. This is like her first day in town. She has just moved in. And so, yeah, her grandmother helped her buy this old home for her to live in. It is not fully furnished. As you can see, she still has plenty of stuff to unpack, but she moved in all of her stuff from her grandmother's. So she's got all of her bedroom stuff in here. She has her little writing space in here, and you can see that we have a little pet bed. She does not have a pet yet, but she kind of converted one of her moving boxes into a pet bed because she is wanting to get a pet here in the near future. And so we just have her little reading corner and a little place for her to write and work. As you can see here, she has her little findings of Grimm. She has not seen him in his full self, but she has seemed to catch glimpses of him here and there when she has witnessed the death of her family members and of Oro. And so she's kind of got a little wall dedicated to figuring out what is going on, who he is, and all of that stuff. And then she has her bathroom over here, and when we go downstairs, again, not fully unpacked, but we have a nice little kitchen in here with a couple of drinks, and she was in the middle of making a salad. We've got her table, a bookshelf, and a little place to watch TV in the family room. So it is definitely by no means fully furnished. This is a house that will end up becoming furnished, I think, as we go along and as we make some more money, because I just thought that that would be a bit more fun and interactive to watch her house kind of grow along with the storyline. So now that we have kind of done a full introduction, we're going to go ahead and get on into it. So I think first things first, she has not joined a career, and I'm not sure that I want her to join a career quite yet. We're gonna have her join the Grim Turn career in the future, but right now I think we're gonna go ahead and just start by exploring the world a little. But we're gonna go ahead and interact with these specters. He's busy. He's too busy to give her catharsis. Is that what that says? Seek catharsis from sadness. Okay, so now that he is... Alright, so we're going to go ahead and seek catharsis from him now and see if that does anything to help us. And I want to briefly mention that I am playing in the doo-doo save file, which I'm going to go ahead and link down below. All of the builds in this save file are going to be from that creator. And if there are any builds that I have placed down in this world that are not from that creator, I will go ahead and preface that. I think I have 2 cemeteries placed from Plum Bob Kingdom, so we will see those a little bit later in this series, and of course my own build. So it looks like seeking catharsis did help her sad mood go down just a little, and so that is nice to know that these little specters can help us out a little. So we can go ahead and ask to be consoled when Elvira starts experiencing grief, which I believe happens after the mourning phase. So while we're still mourning, we cannot ask to be consoled, but once the grief starts to hit in, we can go ahead and do that, which I will be excited to see. I think they did a wonderful job with the new world. It looks like there's a lot that we can go out to explore. It looks like we have some ruins, and what is this? Oh, that's Edith. So, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and come over here and let's attempt to communicate with Edith. So we're gonna run over there or walk slowly and let's try and talk to this little ghost girl. Oh my. She is screaming at us. That shriek sends shivers down Elvira's spine. Edith is definitely not ready to talk. She should keep trying though, especially for that mark of Edith and a chance at better outcomes at the well of longing and regret. Okay, so that did not go well. She is utterly horrified from a horrifying presence. Elvira can feel the hair on the back of her neck rise. She is here. Edith is here. And here she comes again. She is stomping around. So I think we'll leave her alone for now. But that is definitely something we're going to have to come back to. But this part of the world is so pretty. So then, is this Edith's grave? I'm guessing, since she's around this area, I'm assuming this would be her grave then. Edith Basu died from drowning, loved yet misunderstood, with a hint of playful mischief when the moon is only partially ashine. A true moon child. Afterlife Anonymous is starting now. Feeling overwhelmed or in need of support? The Afterlife Anonymous is your go-to sanctuary. Gather with fellow ghosts and sympathetic sims for a support session. Share your experiences at the podium. Enjoy comforting potluck dishes and find solace in heartfelt conversations. Whether you're a ghost or a grieving sim, it's the perfect place to find support and camaraderie. The group meets every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. and Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. in the Morningville neighborhood near the ruins. So I think instead of cooking ourselves dinner, we are going to go ahead and head over to Morningvale and maybe go ahead and sit in on the Afterlife Anonymous. I don't think she's going to want to share just yet everything that she's experienced, but I think she'll be interested to hear possibly what other Sims have to say, and I mean, we'll grab ourselves some dinner while we're there. Okay, so we have made it to Morningvale, and this is quite the spooky little town. So I believe that the potluck and the anonymous meeting is over there. But we have Brant Hecking over here. We have a ghost, Carla Villarreal, and we loaded in at the nightclub, which is looking quite spectacular, I do have to say. Whoever built this lot did a pretty good job with it. I don't even feel like this is a lot that I would necessarily need to redo. Um, it looks pretty good, so kudos to whoever made this build. They did a fantastic job. It looks like there is tons to explore here in Morningvale, and this is the place where the Grim Reaper is supposed to be hanging out and kind of wandering around. And I think that this will probably be one of the first places that our lovely Elvira will probably bump into him. So we're not going to do any exploring today, but I think she's definitely going to go ahead and come back tomorrow and do some sleuthing around for a potential book. But for now, we are going to go ahead and head over this way. It's looking a little bare tonight, and I'm not seeing much of any kind of potluck, but we can go ahead and watch Cornelia Goth, which is actually our ancestor. How crazy is that? We can go ahead and come and sit and watch her give her speech and listen to what she possibly has to say. We did not make it in time to catch any of Cornelia Goth's um, speech, but there are tons of ghosts. We have Esther Gomes in the Order of Lenore, and I have absolutely no idea what that is, but I think that we are going to go ahead and introduce ourselves to Esther Gomes, and it looks like she actually brought some tofu dogs, and so I think we're going to go ahead and talk to her. So I think an important thing to know about Elvira is that because she's experienced so much loss in her life, she is not planning on getting close to anybody while she's here. She is not interested in meeting any of the townies. She does not want to get to know absolutely anybody. She is simply here to be as far away from people as possible. And so I think the fact that this place has so many ghosts around makes her feel a little bit more comfortable, because after all, you can you can't lose something that's already dead or gone. And so I think for her that is going to make her feel a lot more secure in becoming friends with ghosts and communicating with the dead. But we did get a new moodlet. It says strange happiness from euphoric presence. An unnatural happiness has enveloped Elvira like a warm, positive cloud that just won't go away. She can't stop smiling, as if everything is finally going her way. Things are definitely looking up. And so I think that in itself kind of proves my point that she feels just so much more at home and at ease around ghosts because they're already dead, and so nothing can happen to them, and she really feels like the people that she's around will die. And so this just makes her feel so much more comfortable. Okay, so this says tarot is an ancient form of divination. One can tap into intuition and through the readings can find clarity or guidance. Inner desires come forth and the universe's influence takes hold. Amongst the tarot community, there are whispers of a magical deck waiting to be found. A secret order has been performing rituals throughout Ravenwood, and their sacred site, a tarot tome shrine, could reveal some truth to the rumors. So we'll definitely have to go check that out, and I'm assuming that she is part of that secret order. We're gonna go ahead and come over here and grab a serving of this salmon, but we can go ahead and watch Esther Gomes go ahead and tell her story of death. And she keeps getting this scared by ghost interaction, but she's not actually getting scared by them. She is just getting this really strange happiness and preparing for the afterlife. Elvira feels more prepared than ever to take on life as a ghost after attending this meeting. Ghosts always tell the saddest tales. They also tell some of the funniest, but this one was certainly in the sad category. And she's feeling inspired by her cosmic quest. So I definitely think she's going to have a lot to write about. And I think that this meeting will definitely be something that she comes to quite often because it's going to give her a lot of stories to tell and a lot of books to write for her books that she's going to want to publish. And she is nowhere near wanting to publish any of her books. She doesn't even have a high writing skill. She doesn't have a writing skill at all at the moment. But it's going to take her a long time to even consider writing a book worth publishing. So for now, she's just going to be kind of stocking up on these stories and keeping them hidden. So I think with that, we're going to go ahead and head home for the day. She's pretty tired, and I would like her to go ahead and get some sleep so that we can wake up pretty early and get a head start on that reading skill. It is a morning, so we are going to go ahead and get this girl up and out of bed. She needs to quickly come in here and use the restroom, and then we're going to go ahead and send her on in to her little study. And you know what? Why don't we go ahead and make a part of our bucket list? So we can go ahead and write a goal from a category, or write the perfect goal. And I think that Elvira will probably be a perfectionist, and she is going to want to write the perfect goal in terms of creating something. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out, how this works, and how curated to her traits that it's going to be. And then it also looks like for her once, she wants to read something and she wants to visit the well of longing and regret. So she's feeling pretty down in the dumps this morning. It looks like a lot of that inspiration from last night kind of came and went pretty quickly. Um, so she's feeling pretty down in the dumps this morning, but let's see if this bucket list might be able to cheer her up a little. And I hope it will, because I hate seeing her so sad, but after everything that she has experienced in her life, it does make sense as to why she feels the way that she does. And I'm excited to see. It looks like we can have 4 different goals. I don't know if that's 4 for each, but oh, so when it says that I want to create the perfect goal, it looks like we actually get to pick the kind of goal for our bucket list. Whereas I'm guessing if we just write a goal, it's probably going to choose it for us. And if we pick from a specific category, we get to say that we want it to be creative, but it'll pick for us. So I think she's definitely going to like to write the greatest book ever. I will be counted among the pantheon of the best writers in all of some kind. After mastering the skill of writing, I will pen a tome of the utmost quality. Then I can proudly declare it my life's finest work. Only then will I have reached the true pinnacle of writerhood. So we need to reach writing level 10 and declare life's finest literary work. So I think we're going to go ahead and put that on there. I definitely think that'll be at the top of her bucket list for sure. But I don't know how this works with the soul's journey. So, the soul's journey denotes the overall satisfaction of Elvira's existence. Filling the soul's journey rewards Elvira with various perks to help them in life, death, and whatever comes afterward. Some things that increase the soul's journey are completing bucket list goals, completing aspirations, completing wants, completing New Year's resolutions, and completing a midlife crisis. So there's lots of things that we can do to try and fulfill the soul's journey. I have a feeling the bucket list, though, is probably going to be a major part of that. And so I'm going to have her go ahead and start working on her writing skill a little. We can go ahead and write obituaries, which I think would be pretty funny. especially if she's attending those meetings, that might play in, or we can go ahead and start writing a genre book. But I think for now, we're just going to go ahead and practice our writing. And while she's doing that, I want to look into this thanatology skill. It says it's time to become a fledgling thanatologist to prepare for her journey to ghastly greatness. Elvira needs to at least understand the basics of the darker side of life and death. She can improve her thanatology skill by reading theories on a computer, ordering thanatology skill books, or perhaps even joining the Reaper or Undertaker careers. So I think this will be pretty easy once we join our career to level that up. But for now, I think she'll just kind of have to read about it and do some research on her computer. We have reached level 2 of the writing skill, so I think with that, we're going to let her go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to run down here. We definitely need to clean up whatever she was trying to make last night, and I think we're just going to take a quick meal out for breakfast. I think she's just going to munch on some cereal really quick. What is this? Hello from the other side. You don't know me, so this might sound weird, but you're gonna inherit from me, kid. Why, you might ask? Let's just say it's better for both of us if you don't ask questions. The money needs to go somewhere and quick, and I heard through the grapevine that you were a good, upstanding sim, so you're about to inherit a chunk of my hard-earned simoleons. Listen, buddy, part of life is planning for your death. You should write up a will when you're ready to choose who's going to inherit your simoleons, your heirlooms, and your kids. I did mine on the computer, but you can call an inheritance lawyer to help you write one too if you want. Just make good choices in life, kid. I sure didn't. I don't know who this is. It kind of looks like Malcolm, her grandfather, but surely it's not. So I feel like, to be honest, Elvira would be like, no way, that sounds really sketchy, but I want to know if we actually get free money from this. So I'm gonna say free money, yes, please. We just got 4,000 simoleons from that guy. That literally looks like Malcolm. Like, I'm pretty positive that was Malcolm. So her grandfather just sent her money from the grave, essentially. That's pretty crazy. But here is another one of I guess I forgot to give her a trash can. Here is another one of Elvira's outfits. She's got a lot of dark and moody outfits going on, which I think just really fits her vibe. But we've got a mix of CC and outfits from the new pack. So we've got a good mix in there. But yeah, I think she's pretty cute. I really like her style. I tried to do something a little different than what I normally do for my Sims. So I think our plan for today, even though it is super gloomy out, we're gonna go back to Morningvale and walk around. I would like for her to hopefully run into Grim, because I have kind of a theory for how I want her to go ahead and get this job. But it does look like she's feeling pretty inspired this morning, but the morning of her dear friend Oro is kind of taking over. But I think we're going to go ahead and explore around Morningvale now that she kind of got a glimpse at it last night. She's very curious to go back, and I think that's where she's going to feel, again, the most confident being. We are back in Morningvale. It is just as rainy as it was out and about in our town, and it looks like the ghosts are just beyond having a good time over here. And it actually looks like our parents are in here, and Cassandra Landgrab is calling us to chat. And I think we're gonna go ahead and pick up the phone. We're just gonna quickly let her know that we're doing okay, we've moved in, but that we are a little busy, and so we'll have to call her back. Obviously, her parents are not actually active. I want to pretend that they are actually just gone. They've passed over into the afterlife. They did not want to remain in the current world. So they are here, but we're just gonna pretend like they're not. And we're gonna go ahead and quickly talk to Cassandra while we have a second. And then I think we're gonna go over here to the town square. It looks like we have a little podium that we can read from, and I would like to go ahead and maybe check that out really quick and see what it has to say. So we are going to quickly make our way over there. And it is crazy how many ghosts are just around and out and about. We've got some Calientes over here. Of course, we got Vlad over here. I'm not totally sure why he's here. There's no one for him to feed on in a ghost town. Okay, here we go. The Order of Lenore, formed long ago, this society remains bound under the sacred mission to reunite what was once whole. Lady Ravendancer Goth's tarot deck. Lost to the winds and scattered by crows, these fragments lay hidden amongst the realm. Guided by ancient whispers, members have sought to protect these cards before their final convergence can be made. Acting as a vessel for favors, perform society member tasks to receive a piece of the puzzle. Go to Ravenwood festivals and find the helpers for Order of Lenore to learn about the tasks. This is just the beginning across Ravenwood. One may use their intuition and exploration to complete the Order's efforts and locate the lost tarot cards. For hints to each card's location, view the Household Collections window by selecting the icon in the inventory panel. So it looks like we have Ecade Ether. As a widowed father, their attendance at the Moon Revelry Festival is unmatched. Esther Gomes, who we met, a ghost host is often found trying to navigate this world at Afterlife Anonymous. So he goes to the Moon Revelry Festival. We can find Afterlife Anonymous, Zelmira Gomez, Gomes or Gomez? I think I said Gomes, but I think it's Gomez. So they're related. Spreading the gloom and predicting your doom, this death-obsessed sim is stationed at the thinned Festivale's tarot booth. And then we have Nyan Spectre. Everyone knows the famous, infamous Spectre. A collector of sorts, the grim enthusiast is often found accepting offers at various events in Ravenwood. So you can find them all at different events, and we can use them to help us find the lost tarot cards, it looks like. And I definitely think that Elvira is going to be quite interested in this because it's connected to her past. So I definitely think this is going to be something we're going to have to get heavily involved in. It looks like we also got this little pop-up. The High Spellcaster, seen and unseen, thou art the path between. The High Spellcaster dwells where light and dark share a delicate balance. Those who draw a wisdom from this duality may unlock her ethereal presence as a vessel of divine femininity. Her essence and the cycle of the moon are closely entwined. She personifies magic in all forms and is guided by the rhythmic pulse of her own intuition. So I'm not totally sure what that means, other than just some crazy pop-up, but it does look like we can go ahead and go to I don't know why I went to aspiration, the household collections, and it said that we can use this to help us go ahead and find. Oh, we got one. The High Spellcaster. So we have a tarot card now. That's why we got the crazy pop-up. But we can use this to help us find where the rest of the cards in the deck are. So, like, the first one says, where golden dreams turn to dust and decay, in the crypts where the lifeless lay, a coin's visage in card form holds sway. Venture forth and let the shadows guide your way. So, I'm assuming that one will definitely be in the crypt, and there are 26 to find. This one says, befriend a crow in the depths of the well of longing and regret, when the moon is full and sky is bright. So that one will be found at the festival. So that's really interesting. And once the 25 tarot cards in Ravenwood have been found, we can summon Grimm to aid you in your quest and complete the deck. Wow, there is so much going on in this pack, you guys. I'm a little overwhelmed. I know the majority of this episode has already been just me reading out all of the different stuff we found, and I feel like we haven't gotten much to the storyline, so I apologize for that. But there's just so much lore to find and to go through right now that I think will get a little bit more into the depth of her actual story as we go along. And it looks like we can come ring the bell in the bell tower. So I'm gonna go see if that does anything, or if it's perhaps just gonna ring a bell. And it looks like there's a little specter friend here as well. And there is the ringing of the bell. I'm not sure if that brought the specters here or what that did, but that's quite curious. So I was doing a little bit of sleuthing around, and it looks like this is Morningvale's town hall. So if we come here, we can use their amenities, we can read their ancient archives, we can read a billboard about each of the towns, and once again, we can focus the camera on the different activities there are to do around here, or we can start a will, and I don't think she's going to do that just yet. We don't have a lot to our name, so there isn't much that we would have to pass down anyways. But we, I think, might go in and check out the ancient archives while we're here. And it does look like the bell tower ringing brought forth the specters. So the bell tower's chime has brought a burst of joy to Elvira and nearby Sims. The magical moment of community and camaraderie is more than enough to lift Elvira's spirits, and those rumored lights, they might just be a charming trick of the light, or maybe just maybe a sprinkle of ghostly magic. So that's very interesting. I think that's a fun little thing that happens when you ring the bell. All of these little specters appear, and it makes her quite happy. So definitely a lot about this town is bring out the bright side of Elvira. So it says the town hall serves as a hub for both spectral and administrative functions. Ghosts frequently visit to resolve their unfinished business. Morticians file for zoning rights to expand their operations due to the booming death industry, and Sims consult estate attorneys for will preparation. The second floor contains the office of Afterlife Festivals, documenting decisions on festival schedules, locations, and attire. Notable entries include the pet crow licenses, officially deemed unnecessary due to excessive paperwork, despite the belief that crows answer only to Grimm. And I definitely think Elvira will be getting a ghost at, or not a ghost, a crow at some point. I'm not totally sure when though. And it looks like there is another ghost over here named Alice, the Weeping Mother. So let's go ahead and come over here and give her a friendly introduction. So this introduction is going a lot better than the one with Edith. So why don't we go ahead and ask about Alice's sorrow? I'm not totally sure what that's going to do, but we can go ahead and ask. And she is a very sad ghost. And maybe we can even discuss interests with her quickly and see what she has to say. Elvira has learned that Alice has the following skill: piano. So she's also most likely a very creative sim. And she is wearing a veil as well. Possibly a mourning veil, but I'm not sure. And it also looks like this tree we can interact with. Alice's sorrow: as sand rained down in my final resting bed and I clenched the red flowers in my hands, all I could think of were my children. What happened to them? I don't know where they are, but I can feel their locations, their essence. Please, I must know what become of them. So we can either agree or we can say no, and I definitely think that Elvira will say yes, that she is going to want to help her. And I'm not sure what that does, if we can just come back and tell her what happened to them or what, but it looks like she has gone ahead and disappeared. So while we do that, I think we're gonna go ahead and use our intuition on this guardian tree and maybe listen to the whispers. And oh my gosh, that was so cool, the way that it showed that we just found that tarot card. The star. Beneath the star she kneels, a paragon of divine grace. Nourishing the soil below, she pours fresh water as a means to restore and renew. Intuitively, she dips one foot into the cosmic pool for spiritual connection, the other half of her grounded in practicality and strength. Only a pigeon bears witness to this healing, giving thoughts of hope in spite of despair. So we can also go ahead and use our intuition again, although I doubt that it'll do anything. And we can go ahead and listen to whispers. And then once we complete Alice's sorrow, we can use this to refill our needs and scavenge in it. We're going to go ahead and use our intuition one more time. Oh, we found another card. A giant gnarled tree stands before Elvira. Bits of moss hang from its tangled branches. And is that a face? Faint whispers carry on the wind, but surely this is all just her imagination. And then we also found the Justice Tarot card. So apparently there's multiple cards that we can find in there, and I'm gonna wait to find any more. But I also noticed that we have Alice's Sorrow down here. And we have an incoming phone call from the Grim Reaper. Have you considered a career in the reaping business? You could really make a killing. There's no need for a dead-end job when the Netherworld Department of Death has a robust system of quotas and rewards to ensure that you're always in charge of your own fate. Pick up a scythe and give reaping a swing. So clearly, we did not need to go find the Reaper. The Reaper found us. And so I have a feeling the conversation went a little something like this. Elvira gets a phone call from a mysterious man, and all of a sudden he starts telling her about how he's been watching her and he thinks that he has the career that she is perfect for. He tells her that he has been watching her for a very long time and he knows that she's caught glimpses of him. And if she wants to meet him, all she has to do is accept this job offer and she can meet him in the flesh. And so Elvira is going to say, okay, we will accept the Reaper career. And what it says is, the time is nigh to don on a robe and become a Reaper. As Grimm's employee, you'll be able to climb his triangular ladder and gain rewards like discussing deathly business and owning a timeless hourglass. Scry your way to the top and earn being Grimm's right hand while unlocking a truly Grim-worthy outfit as you spread death's touch wherever you go. We're going to start as a Grim turn. We get $25 an hour. We'll work 9 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we are going to go ahead and go and join that career. But back to what I was originally saying about Alice's Sorrow. This gives us 0 simoleons, rewards the guardian tree, interactions, refill needs, must be a ghost to use, and scavenge. And we need to find whatever that says. I don't know how to pronounce that either. He rests where many others rest, in the darkness underground. Find him by exploring any crypt. So we need to explore a crypt. So before we end off this episode today, I think what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and try to explore one of the crypts and see what happens. So we are going to go ahead and explore the Crypt of Eternity, and we're going to go and explore the underground crypts. And I believe it told us that we could explore any crypt. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. Elvira enters the crypt. A labyrinth of forgotten corridors and ancestral vaults lie ahead. Enter if you dare. Alice's Sorrow. Elvira comes across an ancient and forgotten sarcophagus. A name can be read in the stone tablet next to it. This must be it. This is one of Alice's children. Read the stone tablet. I feel like that was really easy. She walked into the crypt and she found it. The words in the tablet read, Son of Alice, skeptical, genius, and macabre. Macabre? Macabre? However you say that, lived a full life and passed away as an elder. from death by cowplant. His very last word as he accepted his fate of getting swallowed whole was sentenced. Find the next offspring. In order to complete the next task, we need to find Freddy. He has forgotten his sim nature, but as they say, it takes a village to raise a child. Find Freddy the Spectre by the playground in the center of the Crows Crossing neighborhood of Ravenwood. So we know where that is. We live in Crow's Crossing, and we can go ahead and find him because we know where the specters are. But I think we are going to go ahead and save that for the next episode. I feel like we have uncovered quite a lot this episode. A lot has happened, a lot has gone on. We have discovered so much from tarot cards to Alice's sorrow to joining not the Undertaker career, the Grim Reaper career. So much has gone on in just 2 days. And so I think with that, friends, I am going to go ahead and end off this part here. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry for all of the pausing and the reading of all of the little pop-ups, but I feel like that is so important to really get into the lore of this pack. So I hope you guys don't mind that. I promise we will get into the full story of Elvira and progress her through, and you guys will find out so much more about why she is here and what her goals for the future are. And with that, if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, friends.